Let's get it on.
All right, we're recording now. All right, lads.
What's happening?
You're both looking extremely tall and beardy.
Well, I think.
Oh, hello. Hello. What's that, Mark?
What is that? Smack talk, bitches.
For those of you who are not watching the visuals and are just listening to the audio, Mark is showing off his brand new exclusive Smack Talk t-shirt. Have some of that. Well, you can't have some of that if you're just listening to it. What?
Excuse me?
Let's do, right? If we get any guests on, we give them a t-shirt.
Cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, Ma, if you want to jump on, get your t-shirt.
Have they fit me? They're
Edmonds.
available in all sizes.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's be literal here. Available in no sizes right now.
Yes.
So, anyway.
Yeah. So, what do we think of the card?
Which
so
one
what
is
card are you talking about?
Rodriguez, Waterson.
Yeah, Waterson. Sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a card with a bit of drama around it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't sound too sure there.
No, yeah, it is, but I don't know. I was expecting more from the card, to be honest.
The drama around it, as in fucking all the crack carrying on with Diego Sanchez. Yeah, there was bouts moved around and this and that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The week was a bit messy, you know.
I hate even talking about it. Just watching it and all the madness unfolding. Like, it's obvious. It's so obvious to everyone. This is a coup who, like, we've all done. You know, like most people our age, growing up, kind of that early '90s when there was loads of, you know, self-defense classes and martial arts class popping up. We've all gone to these dojos where the fucking instructor hasn't a fucking breeze, and he's been able to convince, you know, 20, 30, 40 people to keep coming back and handing over money, despite the fact he can't fucking fight and knows nothing about martial arts.
Yeah.
This lunatic has been able to do it to a Hall of Famer, a mixed martial artist who's competed at the highest level, and this prick has been able to do it. What the fuck is going on?
A Hall of Famer, but he's also done it to someone who was never the full shilling. If you go back all the way to the
100%,
Diego Sanchez was always like his character was
out there
because he's so strange. He's doing weird things like wrapping himself up in fucking cling wrap.
Film.
Correctly, do you know what I mean?
sitting out in the rain in the thunderstorm.
He was sitting out in the thunderstorm doing yoga, hoping that the lightning had hit him to give him the power of the heavens.
So, like, it's not. I don't think it's a surprise that he's after getting suckered in by this lad.
No. But you think, like, he's been, like, Diego Sanchez has been around top level coaches, like, as good as it gets.
Jackson Winklejohn.
Yeah. Like,
Jackson Winklejohn, wasn't it?
Yep.
Do you know what he reminds me of? I remember training with a friend of mine. Shout out to Eugene, who 100% isn't listening. But Eugene is a pretty handy on the mat. He had a couple of amateur MMA fights or semi-pro MMA fights years ago. He trained actually for a while in New York with under Henzo Gracie for a while. He'd be handy enough on the mat. You know, he hasn't trained in a long time, but we were training 5 years ago. And so I'd be doing stand-up with him. Then we'd be doing a little bit of jiu-jitsu. And in the corner, there was a couple of fellas doing some kind of fucking nonsense. They were all wearing gears that they didn't need to be wearing because there was no one doing any grappling. And they were talking about different techniques that fucking didn't exist. And as we're in the middle of training, this hero just popped in the middle, and he was looking in at us. And he said, "No, if you were to move your hand there, that would result in serious injury." And I just remember Eugene, who wouldn't be one for mincing his words, just looked over his shoulders. Yeah, all right, fuck off back over there. And we sit listen to this fucking lunatic trying to convince people that we can only train at 40% because if we train what we know, it will result in death.
So he's one of these.
This fucking guy reminds me of that fucking weirdo. But this guy was in a bullshit gym in Parnell Street talking to nobodies. This fucking guy has been in around Diego's camp while he was fighting in the UFC.
Yeah.
I don't even like talking about it because it fucking annoys me. And then Diego, who's gone on about is the head trauma and all this kind of stuff, fucks any claim he ever might have had by posting a video of his coach punching and kicking him in the head while he hangs upside down. And then his coach releases a thing saying he does it 20 minutes a day.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, 20 minutes a day. Like the UFC
for 20 minutes a day. Never mind get kicked and fucking punched in the head while they were doing it.
What the fuck?
He's in that weird bleeding Spider-Man pose, hanging upside down on a fucking
blindfolded.
Listen, the UFC's lawyer just said, "I'm taking a month off. This is perfect. I won't need to prepare a fucking thing for this." Yeah. Fuck me. We've been sued for the head trauma and failing to protect. Oh, Grant, just have a look at this video here.
Yeah,
we're done. Thank you.
Yeah. Nonsense.
I hate even talking about it because it fucking annoys me.
Yeah,
it's crazy. For anyone listening, you should go and have a look.
Have a look at the latest news surrounding Diego Sanchez.
Yeah. And anyone putting their kids into martial arts and training, it's absolutely fantastic for kids. But go and meet that coach and watch how he interacts with people. And if he even reminds you of one of these dickheads for a second, get your kid out of the class because they're still out there. They're still absolute fucking charlatans out there.
I have to say, that's the most sensible thing I've ever heard you say. It's
As far as I'm concerned, if you ever hear a martial arts coach speaking about things like spiritual energy and kinetic energy and stuff like that, get the fuck away from him. Because
kinetic energy is full of shit. But spiritual energy, the fuck out of here.
Yeah, kinetic energy is fine if you're in some way involved in what would you call it? Physics, studying physics.
Yeah,
you don't need to know about kinetic energy to know how to punch and kick and all that kind of stuff.
Nonsense.
You just need to know the physics and physiology of it.
Or talking about how much he's done in the sport when he hasn't done anything in the sport.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that
about? Like? Up until I don't know, Sanchez's last 3 fights, maybe.
Yeah. This fella is actually more dangerous than the likes of Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal as Steve Mazzagatti.
Whoa. Oh, there's a heavyweight showdown of fucking nut jobs. Anyway,
the card.
Get back to the card. Let's have a chat about the first fight on the main card, which was a middleweight fight. It was
the which?
I didn't get to see any of the prelims.
No, either did I.
The main fight on the prelims was White Trezano, who won one of the TUFs. I'm not sure which one.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Versus a guy called Ludovic Klein, and it's actually a great fight. Have a look at him.
Okay. What weight are them lads?
Featherweights.
Featherweights,
yeah.
Okay, I'll have a check. I'll check that out.
So
the first fight on the main card is middleweights. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Kyle Dawkins and Phil Hawes.
Yeah. The scoring for me was a bit off. Wasn't it 30-26, 30-26, 29-27?
Yeah.
There was no round there that I had a 10-8 round.
No. I had a 2 rounds to 1.
Same.
I had a 2-1 as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out how one of the judges seen that as a 10-8.
Two judges seen it.
Two judges.
Yeah. I couldn't have bewildered. As always by the judges, it's a
Was it the takedowns in round 3?
Yeah, round 3, yeah. But I still wouldn't
I wouldn't have called it a 10-8.
No.
Wouldn't have called it a 10-8 because in fairness,
for me, a 10-8 is like absolute control right through the round.
Yeah.
And
Kyle Dawkins threatened with a couple of triangles just to stay busy off his back.
Yeah.
He was still threatening. He wasn't. If you like, he wasn't like what's the lad there we were talking about a couple of weeks ago? The dickhead, the Hulk, Oyan Cutelaba.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His first round was absolute control, absolute domination.
Yeah. That was a 10-8.
I don't think your man what was the lad he was fighting?
Haas.
One Cutelaba. I don't think he landed in that first round. I can't remember. If he did, it wasn't on.
I think he just basically avoided, yeah.
Perfect 10-8 round.
Yeah.
But see that in Haas and Dawkins, that would be
10-8. No.
To be honest, I wasn't overly impressed with either of them, to be honest.
Me neither.
Haas what I will say is Haas had a good work rate. His output was high.
They were expecting gas. He must have gassed in a fight before.
Yeah, he carries a lot of muscle. He's fucking stacked, isn't he? He's a big build. He's not old, but he's 32. He didn't look like he's that well rounded. I think he's coming in with a 6-fight win streak, 3 in the UFC, including I think it was the Contender Series or something like that. Dawkins is only 28, but I think it really depends on how he looks back at that fight. The holes in his game, he wasn't able to match the output. No. And I think he thought he was going to have a massive upbringing on the feet. And I don't think it was there for him.
He's a wrestler, is he?
Haas, yeah. Well, there's not much on him. I had a look at him there. He certainly has the physique of a wrestler. Junior standout, junior college wrestling, Division 1, Iowa State. I've probably seen better wrestlers than him though.
I don't think
in the cage, like.
I mean, Dawkins went for a couple of takedowns, even though I don't think he's necessarily known as a wrestler, is he?
No, he's not.
He went for more takedowns than I had expected.
Did he actually get one though?
I don't think he got
one.
Clear one.
And I to be honest, I think it looks terrible to judges if you have someone shoot over and over again when it's clearly not working. Like,
well,
I think he was more trying to shoot for the takedowns to secure the round.
Possibly, but he was doing a lot of cage work. He was holding Phil Hawes against the cage in the first round. He was kind of keeping him pressed against the cage, which you can't really score, right?
Well, they say octagon control.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know whether I call that octagon control. I think octagon control is cutting off the angles when your opponent is moving.
Well, the whole thing is you're controlling where the fight takes place.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing that with he was holding it against the cage.
That's the referee's job.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'd agree with you, Mark. I wasn't exactly blown away.
No.
There was a moment in round 2 at the start where Dawkins threw a head kick and missed, but then followed up with a nice couple of combos that kind of rattled.
Didn't he follow up with a spin and back fist from one of the
kicks? He does that a bit.
And he wobbled Haas.
Yeah.
He did.
He throws a kick and he kind of spins into that, throws the kick and lands. And
I think his problem was, and even though his output wasn't massive, Dawkins, his problem was that while he was throwing a couple of nice combos, he was basically burnt out halfway through round 2.
Yeah.
There was no pop in any of his punches.
And what's weird about Dawkins is he spent a lot of time in the clinch, and he did get I suppose he was out grappled, and he was definitely outstruck anyway on the output. Yeah. But he has 8 wins by submission, and he didn't seem to have a whole pile.
I remember I've seen him a couple of times, and the last 2 times I was not that I was impressed. Going, wow, who's this lad? Like, but you take notice and you go, oh, I'll take an eye on him. Remember Sanchez, his brother fights in the heavyweight now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, but like, kind of, and then I seen him on the card. I was like, oh, nice one. I'll have a look at that. But then that was an absolute lackluster performance.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was nothing happening in the fight where you go, oh, fuck yeah, or fucking
Yeah.
like I want to see him again.
Yeah.
So Hall's got
could be an off night as well. Bad night at the office.
They're not all going to be barn burners.
Nah.
But yeah, unanimous decision win for Hawes. It's again. I think maybe it's just us, or maybe it's just me. I'm coming up with a lot of fights like this that I'm finding it difficult to come away with anything from.
Yeah.
Like I'm finding it difficult to think, oh, I'd love to see Phil Hawes face.
And to be honest,
someone, in particular.
This card was kind of full of those, to be honest, for me.
Yeah.
Like the next fight.
Next fight, yeah, Diego Ferreira ranked 12 lightweight, and Gregor Gillespie, who I kind of like, ranked 14. Ferreira missed weight. Huh?
But that's a fight I was looking forward to.
I was looking forward to this as well. I like Gillespie.
Your man Ferreira is a savage.
He is. He missed weight by 4.5 pounds.
But the problem here is, lads, he for the lightweight division, he's like a little bit like with John Lineker. This is the second time to miss weight, but he's also been pulled on the night of a fight for failing a medical clearance related to weight cutting.
Right.
So he's not doing himself any favors, kind of like that, and he misses weight. And listen, if you miss weight, you're going to fight. You're kind of in a lose, but you missed weight and you're going into a fight, and then you lose anyway.
That's a double lose. It really is.
You've really screwed the pooch. Like,
great.
Gillespie look good.
Great performance. I thought he really struggled with Ferreira in the first round.
He did.
Yeah.
He struggled with stamina as well, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what even I think DC was saying it as well. Like, you're not used to saying that.
No, not for him.
When he got up at the end of the first round, he had a bit of a wobble.
Yeah.
Like he was lightheaded. You could see it. Rolling the net. Yeah. Hit the stool. Jesus, how quick did he recover?
He was fine.
Yeah.
He was fine.
Is it almost like an adrenaline dump nearly? He got himself worked up, and because he really started coming at getting his second wind as soon as they got back in on the stool. Like,
yeah.
There was a lot. Remember, keep in mind there was a lot of scrambling going on in round one against an opponent who was probably at the time of the fight probably a good 10-15 pounds heavier than him.
Yeah, you could say he looked.
I think, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, DC might have said that he's probably 20 pounds heavier than Gillespie.
Probably was, yeah.
That's a full weight division.
Yeah, and more.
Yeah. Actually,
he has serious wrestling chops behind him, lads. He's won in the UFC. He's won 7 of 8. He was stopped last night by, I think it was Kevin
Lee knocked him out.
Kevin Lee with a head kick. But other than that, I mean, you're looking at Division 1 representing collegiate wrestling, 2007 gold, the PSAC championships. He's 3 gold, 2006, 2008, 2009. The EWL championships, gold in 2006, gold in 2007, gold in 2008, and silver in 2009. And they were all in around the 157 pound weight limit. Folk style wrestler, Division 1 national champion, 4-time NCAA Division 1 All-American, 3-time EWL and PSAT conference champion. Like, that's serious fucking wrestling.
Let's be honest. All you have to do is look at that first round, and despite the fact that it's annoying and disappointing that Ferreira didn't make weight and he was so much heavier than Gillespie in that particular fight, you cannot fault his ability to not get pinned down.
Yeah,
it was almost impossible to keep in one place.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There was so much scrambling.
Against such a strong wrestler.
Yeah.
Big time.
Again, you look at Ferreira, he's a bronze medalist in the No-Gi World Jiu-Jitsu Championship in 2008, and then a silver medalist in 2009, and a bronze medalist in the Pan American Jiu-Jitsu Championships as well. So going in, you two seriously accomplished grapplers.
Very, very accomplished, both of them. I do think Ferreira did better in the grappling exchanges purely by just being so evasive.
Yeah.
Impossible to get anything on, hold down, ground and pound. There was nothing. I mean, Gillespie took his back really quickly and he just shook him off.
Very quickly.
He just shook him off. He stayed clean. He stayed calm, stood up, shook him off the top. It was very, very impressive. Then you had round 2. Like you said, John, you were, bang on there. Gillespie, he looked brand new when he got back up off the stage.
How your fitness level must be through the fucking roof to recover from that so quickly. He was just starting round 1 again. Wasn't a bother.
Yeah, and I think as well, though, you know the way DC talks about that wrestler's grind.
Yeah.
That you just hit they almost hit a level of exhaustion, and then it's not about physical anymore. You just grind.
Yeah.
I'd say he is a nightmare in that. If you were in that, realm of grappling and wrestling, like I'd say he just never stops.
Yeah. But it's also impressive, and it kind of backs up that thing about the kind of non-stop aspect, the grinding aspect. He went straight back to wrestling.
Yeah.
He obviously felt something, because even though for the first couple of exchanges where he got the takedown and he was going for the takedowns, Ferreira was still defending. I think Ferreira used an armbar or a Kimura to escape as well, back off the ground. But Gillespie didn't let up one bit. When he eventually got him down against the cage, Ferreira was just looking like half the man he was. He looked exhausted, burned.
Yeah.
I'd say that wrestling pace, even for lads, black belts in jiu-jitsu and whatever they used to be, to fight off that wrestling constantly.
Yeah.
Like John Hogan has always said, he said it for years, the best base to come in to MMA with is a wrestling base. Like. He says it just puts that work ethic in it, that grinding, like you're saying, Paul. And the cardio as well must be through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like a non-stop barrage of punches is one thing. You can defend against it, you can weather it. We've seen it before, weathering, countering and all like that. But a non-stop barrage of someone like charging into you, holding it against the cage, taking you down, you get back up, taking you down again, taking her back.
Or weight on you as well.
Exhausting. Like I get knackered just
watching you to carry that weight, like.
Yeah. So then, obviously,
I think it's a big thing, I don't know, for lads that I've said it before, the bit of jiu-jitsu I did, like I nearly topped out one night to a lad being on top.
Hey.
That pressure is fucking claustrophobic.
Yeah. Like I think Rogan actually said before as well, your mind panics.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't know what's going on. Yeah. And you might think you're not getting choked out, but your brain suddenly thinks you're being deprived of oxygen and you just want out. You just want out regardless.
Horrible. Really fucking.
I'd say that's zero crack. But now you could see obviously for her,
It was a decent fight.
It was a good fight. It was very good actually. For her, it was just he'd had enough. He just kind of turtled up then, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then got the TKO. I mean, the ground and pound wasn't ferocious. It was just the fact that Ferreira he clocked out at that stage. He just couldn't keep on going.
He did enough to get the fight done.
No. So that was a TKO win. I mean, I'd love to see Gillespie now get a top 10 back into top 10. Like, Mark, can you check there? He was 14 at that fight. Has he moved up past 12?
I tell you now, it's the featherweight rankings. I don't know how quickly they update it.
You're not ranked about 10 there.
Say again?
Was Fahea not ranked at about 10?
12.
Well, look, come here. In my book, he takes Fahea's spot.
That's what I would assume, but you never know. The rankings can be a bit. Yeah, the rankings can be a bit janky sometimes.
Yeah.
Now what? 20 seconds.
Hang on, I'm getting a visit here.
He's got 12.
Who's visiting you?
Abby.
She's saying hello now.
Yeah, I'm Janice. I'm getting bombarded here. Hello. Here, giving him.
Tell them they're interrupting a professional broadcast, man.
Probably knows more than me.
Gregor's got to 12. Diego drops to 14.
Okay.
Now, here's a matchup for you. So Gregor's at 12. Both Felder and Islam Makhachev, is it? Yeah, are actually joint 10th. But imagine, I know it's only one spot, but Gregor against Islam, two serious grapplers.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one.
Yeah.
I think he's the right fella. Islam is the
Islam Makhachev, yeah?
Yeah, that's him. That'd be a great fight.
Yeah. You didn't notice, did he call anyone out after the fight?
No, I don't think so.
No. He was asked what he wants to do, and he was just kind of saying like he's coming at the, not that he said he's coming to the end, but he said he's getting old, so he's just here fights. He's not. I don't think he's gonna make a title run.
No, he's 34, 35, I think.
Yeah,
that'd be a great fight.
That would be a good fight then. Be interesting one, yeah.
But yeah, what do you think of the next fight on the card then?
Next fight on the card was in the heavyweight. Yeah.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
The worst nickname in MMA history.
Who?
The Crochet Boss.
What?
The Crochet.
The Morris Green, the crochet. Because he loves crochet.
Yeah.
Why not call yourself a crochet lover then?
Yeah, apparently he has an Instagram account and he does knitting and crochet and he loves it. That's his hobby, yeah.
Worst nickname.
It is a terrible nickname. It is pretty
bad.
You think Joe Lozon had the worst nickname? J-Lo.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Awful.
No, Derek Green's at the time. Is it Derek Green?
Morris Green. And he got cut actually.
Yeah.
He got cut. Yeah.
He's fought UFC.
Yeah. He's to be honest, to me this fight now I thought was poor.
Sure.
And it shows how at times those at the big boys it can be a bit of a shallow pool. I thought Morris Green, the which
it shows how boring they can be. If that was too small, and one of them is in top control for that long, the fight is busy, a hell of a lot busier. Do you know what I mean? The best that happened in that fight was the bit of a to and fro they had. I think at the end of round 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
all you can kind of say is that Rogerio de Lima, he did have some nice transitions from just the takedown. When he got to the ground, like this is a jiu-jitsu black belt, there was no real transitions. There was very little past the guard. There was nothing, no submission attempts. The ground and pound was very poor.
Do you know what he reminded me of? I don't know if I'd be right here, but he's like a big version of John Fitch, just lying on top of someone. Has that control there? He's doing, you know what I mean? This kind of taps on the blade and forward.
It was nothing, was there?
I just want
to watch.
I just want to say this, and
he's only 6'1" as well. He's not a big heavyweight, like.
Off the back of what John just said there. Normally, especially it's heavyweights, right? If someone tells you that the heavyweights, someone's going to be in top position, you're imagining there's going to be a hefty amount of ground and pound, right?
Yeah.
In round one, De Lima spent 3.5 minutes in top position, right? 3.5 minutes straight in top position. No finish, no TKO, no submission. In round 2, he spent over 4.5 minutes in top position. No TKO, no excessive ground and pound, no submission attempts, right? Then, like you were saying, Herb Dean kind of steps in at the end of the round and breaks him up. And Herb Dean gave De Lima a warning just before they started round 3. And he said to him, next time it might be more than just a point I'm taking.
That was for the shot after the bell.
But he didn't take any point. There was no point deduction.
No, there wasn't.
Which is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come here, I've seen like that shot as well. Like, I've seen later shots than that.
I've seen later shots than that.
Yeah.
That wasn't the latest shot I've ever seen. It was
Jose,
as close to on the bell.
Jose Aldo caught someone with a shot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mendes.
Was it Chad Mendes?
Fucking nearly knocked him out with a shot. At least a second after the bell.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, yeah, that was a worse infraction.
No warning for it.
Yeah.
No said about it. Like, just saw it back to our corners. Like, they fucking murdered Mendes with that shot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For me, that shot changed the way that fight went.
Yeah, whereas this one was
like, it's a throwaway.
Yeah.
What's the big hoo-ha about? Like Cormier was saying, the best thing to say is let them fight.
Let them fight, exactly.
Yeah.
And then round 3, De Lima gets another ridiculously easy takedown.
Yeah.
Within the first 15 seconds. It was one of those absolute stinkers of a heavyweight fight that just ended up on the ground and nothing happened.
Your man Green shite off his back.
Useless.
Nothing. Like this, they were saying, like, long limbs help you in jiu-jitsu. It was like he was too long.
You know what
I mean? He's 6'7".
He didn't have anything, and it seems like he just accepted the takedown and accepted the position and didn't really do anything other than that.
He had a 5.5-inch reach advantage in that fight, and he didn't use it once. Not once.
If I was a stinker.
Well, listen, I think the reality is he got cut, and I think the reality for the UFC heavyweight division is it's one less person that really isn't at the level of anyone in the top 10 or 15.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And to be honest, unless Rogerio gets his shit together, he's gonna be the same. Yeah. He was at light heavyweight in the UFC. He he pissed hot. He missed weight twice at light heavyweight, and apart from his first 2 fights in the UFC, he hasn't been able to string 2 wins together since. It's win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a natural heavyweight. I think he's carrying way too much weight, and I just don't think he's at the UFC level. I thought it was pretty poor.
Yeah.
Anyone in the top 15 should be blowing Green away.
Absolutely.
And if you've any notions on making a run, a name for yourself, making waves, like you shouldn't be happy with just get a position and just throw enough arm punches in that the referee doesn't stand it in.
Yeah.
Bit of that.
Doesn't cut it.
Doesn't cut it at this level.
At all. Especially in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
So the next fight on the card was welterweight. So it was Neil Magny, who ranked 9, and Jeff Neal, ranked 10, welterweight division. Magny came into this fight with a 5-inch reach advantage.
What I came away from this fight was not the fight itself, but this fight showed how much of a weapon cardio is.
Yeah.
I think actually DC said it as well. But like Magny and Diaz brothers and no one I can think of now at the minute. But they show that cardio that lads have, where they can just burn everything in the first round, and they might have their opponent exhausted in the first round, and still there's 2 more, fucking 4 more rounds to go sometimes. Like, they just put pace on lads that people can't hack with.
Yeah,
and I think it's an absolute fucking devastating weapon.
It is absolutely like
in a fight, you're exhausted and you can't keep your hands up. That's a terrifying thought.
Absolutely, and the person they are fighting against keeps on pouring it on.
Yeah. Might be like the Diaz brothers or like Magny. They're not knockout shots. They're just peppering you all the fucking time.
Constant.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's scary. Like. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's perfectly summed up in that fight as well.
I think you're going to start seeing that more and more as people look at the success that the likes of Diaz and that had, and you can see it. If someone is completely gassed in the first round, it's very hard for them to really recover enough to see out 2 full rounds.
After that, yeah.
After that.
It was a good fight. I actually enjoyed this fight, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean Jeff Neal's his short range boxing was really nice.
Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah,
his toe to toe kind of striking when he got into that little zone in close.
He wasn't getting in enough though.
He wasn't getting in enough. He wasn't
too much following,
which is weird because Magny, with his massive reach advantage, wasn't necessarily. He was using his push kick to keep Neal off him, but then Magny was quite happy to go to the clinch.
Yeah. I think that's what was like he was using his push kick to keep him on the outside. But when Neal did get in close, he was
closing the distance,
hurling him out, and just breaking away and hitting on the break, hitting him on the break.
Do you think though that
sequence happened again and again and again, like
the whole way through the fight?
Yeah, Magny's game plan, like.
Yeah.
Do you think that Magny showed anything that will really worry the top 6 or 7 in the division?
No. I don't think so. Not the top 5.
Nah.
I think him and Stephen Thompson would be a good fight.
Yeah, I think Thompson would do him. But I think it's interesting the last
matchup. Yeah, there's two lads who are quite fast, used to commanding the range.
Yeah,
that'd be an interesting matchup. It might bring out.
Other than Thompson, I don't think there's anyone. Is Thompson top 5? I don't think there's anyone else in the top 5 that would go. I'd like to see Magny fight him. Like Magny puts on a busy fight.
Yeah,
he throws lots and always moving, and he does look for the finish, but he never.
He hasn't had a stoppage win since 2018 against Craig White, who isn't around in the UFC anymore.
Yeah.
And before that, actually when he was looking pretty good, he was on a 3-fight win streak, and he stopped Hector Lombard back in 2016.
Yeah.
Then he lost his next one. He kind of one loss a little bit. I think good scrap. I mean, listen, he's won 4 of his last 5, and it's something not to skip sports, but I think it's something that, like the Billy Joe Saunders we just seen fighting at the weekend there. If you're in combat sports and you're really in that top echelon and you want to be in that top echelon, you have to be able to finish fights.
Yeah.
I don't.
Or absolutely dominate them, one or the other.
Yeah. But the whole thing is, it's fine dominating a fight until you're not dominating anymore. It happens to every champion that's ever had. You're dominating everyone, then you come up against someone you're not dominating. You have to have something in your back pocket.
Yeah.
You have to close it out. That it hasn't worked out this time.
Mark,
and I think really,
I don't know what's going on. Mark, you're at the freezing and I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you, but your camera is frozen.
All right.
Unless you're sitting like that.
I don't know. So, everyone we can see you fine anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, unless you have the ability to finish fights on a pretty regular basis, you're going to really struggle in that top 5, top 6.
Yeah, definitely.
And even if you look at Usman, he wasn't finishing fights, and then he changed something up and he started finishing lads.
Yeah,
he's very hard to live with now.
Usman was another one of them cardio machines where he just thought like got bored in the cardio, or control people in the fight, but that's not what got him his title shot. He didn't get his title shot until he started finishing lads. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
I don't think just winning fights, just winning doesn't get you into the top 5 and into the top.
And that's what we were talking about. Remember, I said it a few times about your man Martin Vettori, is it?
Yeah, Vettori. Yeah.
That he has the possibility in the style that he could be champion. but he'd be very unpopular because he just finishes no one.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of those, again, a cardio machine, just never stops. Yeah, I don't know really where Magny goes. Yeah, like a fight like that against Thompson or something like that would be probably interesting. I think at this stage of his career, I don't see him breaking into that top six.
No, I don't.
The rare fight there of title contention.
It was a good win.
Yeah.
He used his weapons well. He used his jab well. His front kick well. Clinch work was very good. But yeah, I can't see it overly bothering anyone on the top.
No, I wonder should Jeff Neal have a look at if it was feasible to drop to lightweight, because he's certainly not the biggest welterweight physically. I think he's only 5'10", 170. He looks physically quite muscular in that, but I don't know how natural he is at that weight. I don't know. I don't think there's much there in the welterweight division for either of them.
Yeah. So unanimous decision win for Magny. The next fight was fan favorite Donald Cerrone against Alex Morono, the welterweight division.
He just didn't look like he had it.
No,
I'm watching Cowboy since WBC.
Yeah.
Fucking long time, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think this is the fourth. Like, he got burned in the McGregor fight. But since I'm now watching him this long, and I might sound like a bit of a dick saying this, but he always bottles big fights. I've said it since the Nate Diaz fight.
Yeah.
Bottles the big ones. Like, he's grand in the mid card fight, fucking knocks away, blah blah, this and that grand. But this is the first time I've actually said, you kind of want him to retire now.
Yeah.
Because he looked slower. He looked
hesitant, gun shy.
Yeah, Morono's shots were hurting him more than he was hurting Morono. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just looked like the older lad in the fight.
It looked like almost, it was like, it sounds shitty to say, but almost as if you think about it, he was throwing a combination. It was like someone hit a pause button on and off. There was that little disconnect before he was moving.
Yeah.
He didn't look good. I
actually have a wrote down here that Cerrone looked like the old man. Morono, busier, quicker, and hitting harder.
Yeah. That's pretty much.
Not bleeding fight, and like,
it
is an awful thing to say, like, especially when you've been looking at someone that long. But I think obviously his best days are behind him.
Yeah,
and you kind of give him one more fight, let him pick his opponent. Do you ever thought
he deserves it?
Yeah.
If anyone say that again,
has he ever fought Robbie Lawler?
I don't think so. No, don't think so. I mean, if any fighter on the roster deserves to be able to pick and choose their last fight, Cerrone. The amount of cards Cerrone has stepped in and saved on like a 2-minute notice kind of job.
Robbie Lawler, yeah. UFC 214 in 2017.
Okay.
Dropped the decision to him. The only problem is listen, I as much as any of us, I want to see him have a nice win and ride off to the sunset. From following boxing and mixed martial arts, there's one sport that doesn't give a fuck about deserve. It's combat sports.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
We all want, like, listen, what I really want is him to go out, pick his fight, head kick someone to fucking another country and walk off to the sunset. Because he's given so much of the sport. He's a wild man, and everyone love watching him fighting. But I don't want to see him fighting more than one more time, win or lose.
No.
I was actually looking forward to the fight with him and Diego.
Yeah, so was I. Yeah.
What's up, like?
Yeah.
Skill, fucking
barn burner.
Just It was.
I think one of the main Achilles heels that Cerrone has always had is that he's a very slow starter in fights.
Yeah.
Round one, inevitably, if it goes to decision, inevitably Cerrone loses the first round.
Yeah.
He can be a very slow starter, and a lot of fighters copped onto that and really turn on the pressure in the first round. And he doesn't react well to it.
No.
He's a fighter that'll bring the fight to you. He doesn't necessarily react well to.
He's on his own terms.
Yeah.
The other thing to look at is he's 38.
Yeah.
He's had 84 professional combat sports fights. He's 29 kickboxing fights, a boxing fight, and 54 martial arts fights.
Yeah.
And then like a huge, obviously, a long time as an amateur, sparring, training. It's time to give it up. It is what it is.
It's time to choose your final opponent and win or lose right off into the sunset. He's got plenty of other pokers in the fire. He's got the BMF ranch. He's a coach himself. He trains other lads. Yeah. He's got loads of shit that he loves doing, all those extreme sports and all. He's plenty to keep him occupied. You know what I mean? He's a
absolute adrenaline
junkie. He does parachuting, paragliding, and all that. So there's much more or less unforgiving sports for him to.
I just hope that in 9 months' time we're not talking about Donald Cerrone fighting in Bellator.
Oh, yeah, or bare knuckle
and then fighting in fucking bare knuckle boxing, and then fighting in, some other bullshit.
Yeah,
down the Midwest, some bare knuckle MMA bullshit. It
was one of you that shared that video. A man coming up to him in the gas station.
Oh yeah. Hey man, what'd you do? Cut me off, and he turns around. It's Donald Cerrone. No,
pump your gas.
Fucking, I want to be wearing me brown trousers.
Yeah.
Then the main event on the card was Marina Rodriguez versus Michelle Waterson in the strawweight. I can't remember. I usually write it down. I can't remember writing it down or either of them in it ranked.
Just before the fight, Waterson was ranked at number 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Strawweight.
Rodriguez.
I'm telling you now, I don't think she is. Yes, so she's 6.
Okay. At the time of the fight.
Yeah.
It was a good fight.
She was a killer on the feet. It's that fucking Muay Thai, just forward pressure, fucking. She's savage to watch. I like watching her.
Rodriguez.
I think
reminds me a bit of Vandalay.
Yeah. She's aggressive.
Waterson's problem is a lot of that. It's listen, no one can. I'll tell you a couple of things. No one can deny our heart and our willingness to stay in there when the going gets tough. She gutted out. Listen, her toughness definitely belies how she looks. She doesn't look like tough, and she really does have no problem cutting it out. The witch?
She looks like a little girl.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And then
her leg dexterity, the speed at which she can get her leg up is fucking unbelievable.
Those sidekicks were doing the job for her, weren't they?
They were, but it's a lot of it is it's touching you, it's pushing you.
Oh they're not damaging kicks.
No, and this is the problem. And we talked about this before about Holly Holm. Now Holly Holm, it sounds weird saying it, but she can't take the head off you with a kick. Well, if you look at a lot of her striking for a professional boxer,
every time you watch a Holly Holm,
and I know it sounds outrageous criticizing it. I put it down to that camp, Winklejohn. It seems like a lot of his fighters go that way, and I think it's the wrong way to approach a sport where your aim is to knock someone unconscious.
Yeah, but it's not though, is it?
It should be.
In the camp, they're like, this win. You need to win, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Remember fucking Roy Nelson talking on The Ultimate Fighter years ago?
Yeah.
He reckons if you pin someone down, right, and I had them in a crucifix, pin them right down. He says, you keep tapping their forehead like that, and there's nothing they can do. He thinks a ref should step in and stop that. Because they can't.
Dana White lost the shit about it, actually. Remember?
Their head. Do you know what I mean? If you're tapping on the head, he thinks that should stop a fight. He thinks that's a win. Do you know what I mean? Whereas obviously in the camp, then they're like, anything is a win. A win is a win.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not saying, "I'll go out and entertain the fans with a fucking slugfest."
Yeah, they're just saying go out and win the fight.
And I think the other thing is to look at it is for me, it's not about entertaining the fans. It is about winning fights.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is,
I like to be entertained as well.
Well, yeah. I want people to get fucked up. But the whole thing is, at that weight, Waterson is undersized. She's not naturally at that weight. She's physically smaller.
Yeah.
So what's happening is she's getting walked down by someone who's physically stronger and larger than her, who can take these pop all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas, like all she was landing on power was her lead leg kick. She had a nice little spin. She landed that a few times.
Lead leg kick, front kick, side kick.
If you're not hitting and getting respect off someone who's walking you down, they're going to keep walking you down.
You need to back someone up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's only so far you can walk back until you have to put it to someone saying, "Get out of my face here." Like, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You have to.
And I think
stopping power, but you have to have power to make someone respect you.
Exactly.
Walking through them little.
Yeah.
Rodriguez is she's a savage, man.
Yeah. She's a hard fucker. She's hard.
Long, and she'll come in, land her shots, and she'll hurt you.
She will. She's definitely throwing everything with a lot more power than Waterson. But she had a 3-inch reach advantage, which I think, in fairness to her, Waterson did well to kind of mitigate that to a certain extent.
Yeah, the other thing is, though, she doesn't fight long, your one. Sure, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't.
What's her name?
She kind of corners you and then lets loose.
She's walking you down. She's getting you to a range that she wants you at, and she's letting loose at you. She's not one of those. She's not jabbing you from the outside or touching you with kicks, or she's walking you down to put hurting on you. Like,
I mean, she did that a couple of times, especially in round 3. She backed Waterson up against the cage and just let loose with some savage boxing. Absolutely savage.
To be honest, if you think about it, like Michelle Waterson, she did very well to win any round. I actually gave her 2 rounds.
She definitely won round 4.
Yeah.
Because of the takedown, and Rodriguez didn't really do anything off her back.
Yeah.
I thought she won round 1. I would have given her round 1 at a push.
I think I gave her 4 and 5.
Or 1 and 4. I could be wrong, of course.
But I think I might have given her 1 and 4 as well, because I think even though Waterson didn't threaten with anything, she did actually outstrike Rodriguez with the side kicks in round 1.
Yeah.
But I just think that if Waterson, if she's going to keep going, if she's going to try and survive in that weight class, her approach has to change somehow.
Yeah.
She either has to start fighting with kind of bad intentions, because she's going to get walked down by these girls. They're bigger than her, and they're stronger than her.
Yeah.
You start getting into that top 5. Can't fault her desire in there, but she's lost 3 of her last 4 now.
Yeah. She's probably. I mean, that's a shallow division as well to be losing 3 of her last 4 in, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, where do you go from there?
This was her flyweight debut.
Strawweight.
No, this was her flyweight debut.
This was a strawweight fight, wasn't it?
It's marked down as flyweight.
Is it? I thought it was introduced as strawweight on the night.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I'll have to watch it back. I didn't realize it was flyweight. I was convinced it was strawweight. No, I could have just jotted it down absolutely wrong. But
flyweight.
Flyweight? That's insane. I thought it was strawweight.
No. That was her flyweight debut. Listen. It was. I actually, for me, it was probably the best fight on the card because the technique of both sides was fantastic.
Yeah.
Just if Waterson could get out of that habit of that pop.
She won't. She won't get out of that. No more than Coach Thompson will stop doing that.
Yeah. The coach used to say to me, if you can touch someone like that, you can touch them like that. If you touch them like that, you can touch them like that.
Yeah.
If her technique and speed is allowing her to make contact, well, then there's something else in the chain you have to change for her to put the power in.
Yeah.
She has to get the respect if she's going to stay at that way.
Keep in mind as well, just because of her kind of her size, she might not have that power to dedicate to something like that.
She might not, but she could definitely hit with more power than she's hit.
Yeah. I don't think she'll ever be a knockout artist.
No. She might have to sacrifice output a little bit, but she has to, as John was saying, if you're not getting their respect, they're just going to walk you down.
Yeah.
But Marina Rodriguez, there's no messing around with her. She's
definitely
big, strong.
Yeah. She'll need to show that she has a little bit more off her back though, because that might be a little bit of an Achilles heel for her.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who she's matched up against next.
Yeah. But I thought it was a good scrap.
It was a good scrap. It wasn't. Say again.
It was a good fight.
It was. It wasn't an amazing card from top to bottom, but it was a couple of good fights on the main card. All right, so look, we'll leave it at that because we're coming up to 55 minutes. We'll do a short show, I think, over the next day or two, where we'll just do our picks for the next UFC.
Sounds good.
Sound good? All right, dudes.
Peace out.
Peace.
Bye-bye.